The UK is home to a large number of theme parks. For the size of the country, roller coasters are rather abundant, but the quality of these parks is a hotly debated subject. With mainland Europe so close and tourism to Orlando from the UK so popular, our parks are constantly put up against some of the toughest competition in the world. This tough competition is only set to get even closer to home, with the construction of Universal Great Britain. I've already discussed at length the impact I think this will have on the UK's theme park landscape in another video, and I'll link this in the description if you want to hear more. But to summarise, most people either think it will make or break our parks, forcing them to step their game up to keep up, or fall behind and maybe disappear for good. With this being such a hot conversation, I thought it would be interesting to take a look at the current position of our biggest parks to see who stands the best chance of competing. So what better way to do this than with a ranking? Now, the UK is technically home to over 100 amusement parks, many of which are just a single wacky worm coaster or a rickety little flat ride. So obviously I'm not going to rank all of these. In fact, I've chosen the term theme park rather than amusement park very much on purpose. I want to keep this list just to parks that at least attempt a bit of a theme in places. Admittedly though, many of the parks on this list are still technically amusement parks. I've also chosen to exclude the Gulliver's parks as they aren't accessible to people without children. And finally, I want to focus on the theme parks themselves, not their resort offerings. I've also tried to avoid discussing food and staff as these are easier fixes than the attractions that actually make up the park. Plus, if you watched any of my previous videos on UK theme parks, you'll know I don't really have anything positive to say about UK theme park food. So without further ado, here is my ranking of the top 10 theme parks in the UK, in my opinion. The 10th spot could have been given to a fair few parks, a couple of which didn't quite make this list, but I ultimately decided to give it to Adventure Island in Southend-on-Sea. This small seaside amusement park definitely doesn't successfully fit the theme park definition, but there aren't 10 in the country that do. But theming is at least attempted within some of the attractions themselves, but yet there are no real themed areas. Nonetheless, this park has a good number of attractions considering its small size. The selection isn't too bad. Standouts include Rage, a Eurofighter coaster, a couple of drop rides, and even some dart rides in the form of Adventureville and Spooksville. Okay, these two are not top quality, but they do have that weird dart ride charm that I personally like. Its seaside location helps set a nostalgic Days of Amusement Park past atmosphere. There's also a good number of flat rides for both us big kids and the little kids. It's thanks to this wide range of offerings that I had to let this park sneak its way into 10th place. Now, for number 9, we have Fantasy Island, another seaside amusement park, this time located in Skegness. Fantasy Island boasts two pretty good thrill coasters. There's Odyssey, a Vekoma suspended looping coaster with 5 inversions, and Millennium, a sit-down Vekoma with 3 inversions. Then there's plenty more fun packed into the compact site, including a spinning family coaster, drop towers, go-kart, adventure golf, an arcade, and one of Europe's largest 7-day markets. With this, Fantasy Island is certainly unique, but it's pretty rough around the edges. Theming is lacking, maintenance could be better, and rides also open sporadically under a rotating system. This makes it a bit unreliable, but still well worth a visit if you're in the area. It's definitely one of our better seaside amusement attractions. In 8th place is Flamingo Land, a park that is a mix of a zoo and a theme park. Flamingo Land is home to 8 roller coasters, some of which are rather unique to the UK's coaster lineup. There's Hero, a Zamperla flying coaster, an uncomfortable yet unique coaster, and Mumbo Jumbo, an SNS El Loco coaster, a style of coaster with a beyond vertical drop. And then there's Velocity, a Vekoma motorbike coaster. In 2022, the park opened an Intamin coaster called Sick, which was a pretty big addition for the country as new coasters are not abundant. Beyond the coasters, the park's also home to a rather varied selection of flat rides. Over half of the park is made up of the zoo, a positive or negative depending on how you feel about zoos. Personally, I'm rather indifferent to this aspect of the park. Flamingo Land's coasters are definitely its best selling point, as theming is near non-existent. Sure, the coasters aren't up there with the ones at the parks that will top this list, but as far as UK theme parks go, Flamingo Land is one of our more thrilling parks, and is probably a better pick for those who want good coasters than a couple I personally rank higher for other reasons. Now, onto 7th place, we have Drayton Manor. Drayton Manor is a solid mid-range theme park with a lot to offer, especially for families. This is the first park on this list that really makes an effort to feature themed areas within the park. There's Thomas Land, which is a big hit with younger children thanks to adorable theming, the relatively new Viking area, and the nautical-themed Adventure Cove. This effort to theme certainly gives the park a more polished look, although it's nothing that impressive. Drayton Manor isn't full of thrill rides, but there are some good ones on offer, such as Maelstrom, The Wave, and Stormforce 10, probably my favourite water ride in the UK. The Wave is the only major thrill coaster at the park, but Accelerator, Gold Rush, and Jormungandr are all decent family coasters. Sadly, in 2022, Drayton Manor did remove its multi-sided drop tower, Apocalypse, which was mine and many other people's favourite attraction at the park. Plus, the recent switch from the stand-up carriages of Shockwave to the new sit-down ones on the renamed Wave are another big loss. Drayton Manor is also home to a small zoo and is overall a well-maintained park. Some of the older attractions could use an update. Sadly, these include the park's dark rides, Sheriff's Showdown and The Haunting. Nevertheless, Drayton Manor holds its own and earns a solid 7th place in my ranking. In 6th place is Legoland Windsor, one of the better themed parks in the UK. Like all Legoland parks, the Lego theming is all over, and is something I really appreciate. One of my favourite features of the park is certainly the incredibly detailed Miniland displays. The park's reputation is very much that it's a park for families with young children, but I personally disagree. Don't get me wrong, it's not a thrill seeker's paradise, but if you like screen-based attractions and theming, it's a unique park to visit in the UK. Fly to the Sky Lion, a flying theatre, and Ninjago, a Triotech interactive dart ride, are two of the best non-coaster attractions we have. Plus, there's Laser Raiders, a less technologically advanced shooting dart ride, Haunted House Monster Party, a well-themed Vekoma Madhouse, and Pirate Falls, a cute little log ride. These might be more standard theme park attractions, but the theming is nice, at least by UK standards. As far as coasters go, there's only 4. With 2 being very tailored to little children. But the Dragon, a cutely themed coaster, and the Minifigure Speedway, a racing coaster, are fun little coasters for all ages. Sure, Legoland may fall short in the thrill department, but I think it makes up for this in theming and variety. Now, let's get into my top 5. Rounding out my top 5 is Thor Park, a park that has really impressed me with its more recent additions. Best known for Peppa Pig World, the park, like Legoland, is often seen as just a destination for young kids, thanks to its excellent selection of children's rides. But there's actually a lot more to it. The Tornado Springs area is a brilliantly themed land, and features some genuinely fun rides, like Storm Chaser and Cyclonator, both of which offer decent thrills even for older guests. Then there's also the Lost Kingdom, a slightly less well-themed land which is home to a Vekoma suspended coaster and a Vekoma shuttle coaster. Then, new for this year, there's Ghostly Manor, a Mack Rides gameplay theatre, which is a shooting ride that combines physical sets with projection screens. This is a great addition, and is so immersive and ambitious for a park like Poulton's. The attention to detail and theming within this attraction is some of the best in the UK. Poulton's Park also has a small zoo as well as some beautiful gardens that really make the park one of the most beautiful in the country. It is immaculately clean, well organised and clearly well cared for, something you don't see at some of our bigger parks. Honestly, in terms of presentation, atmosphere and consistency, Poulton's delivers one of the most polished experiences in England. In 4th place is Chessington World of Adventures, a park that stands out for its strong family focus and variety of attractions. I really like how it blends a theme park, zoo and sea life centre all into one, making it a very well-rounded experience. Coasters like Mandrill Mayhem, Dragon's Fury and Vampire offer fun thrills without being too intense, making them great for younger guests or those easing into coasters. Then there's the Gruffalo, one of my favourite dart rides in the UK, Croc Drop, a well-themed drop tower, and Toon Blaster, an interactive dart ride. Two of the park's most unique attractions are special due to the way that they incorporate animals. Tiger Rock is a log flume that offers up-close views of real tigers, and Zufari is a safari park ride through the Wanyama Reserve, home to some of the most incredible animals at Chessington like white rhinos, giraffes and zebras. The theming across different areas of the park is well done, especially in zones like the Forbidden Kingdom and the new World of Jumanji. Chessington World of Adventures is geared more toward families with younger children, so again, thrill seekers might find the ride selection a bit underwhelming, but I'd still say it just about offers enough to beat out Legoland and Poulton's. The The quality of coasters, theming, and the presence of the grotto alone are what have earned it its 4th place spot. Now for the top 3. I'm sure you can all guess which parks are coming, but maybe not exactly in what order. So let's continue. In 3rd place, we have Blackpool Pleasure Beach, our final seaside amusement park on this list, and by far the best of the bunch. Blackpool Pleasure Beach is a park that balances nostalgia and more modern thrills pretty well. The park's history has always been its greatest charm in my opinion, with classic coasters like the Grand National, Steeplechase and the Big Dipper, and quirky dark rides like the Ghost Train, Alice in Wonderland, or my personal favourite, River Caves. The park is full of amusement park history. In fact, the oldest attraction here is the Flying Machines, which opened all the way back in 1904. Then there's the big one, the UK's tallest coaster for a whopping 30 years. That was until Hyperia opened at Thor Park just last year. Blackpool Pleasure Beach's history-rich charm is evident in these classic attractions, but I am disappointed that several beloved classic rides have been retired recently, such as the Gallopers Carousel or the Wooden Wild Mouse. This coaster left in 2017, but thankfully it did make way for a brand new marquee coaster called Icon. This Mack multi-launch coaster is one of the best modern coasters here in the UK. Theming isn't really present at this park, but efforts are made within individual attractions, such as the classic dart rides and the more modern Wallace and Gromit's Thrill-O-Matic, and in the children's area Nickelodeon Land. Some areas of the park do feel dated, and I have found myself being pretty critical of many of the park's decisions in recent years. See any of my past Blackpool Pleasure Beach videos for reference. Nevertheless, the mix of heritage and standout rides makes it rather unrivaled in the seaside amusement park category, and a worthy 3rd place in my ranking. In 2nd place is Thor Park, a top-tier destination for any thrill seeker. The ride lineup is packed with intense, heart-pounding experiences. Stealth launches you from 0 to 80 miles per hour in under 2 seconds. Swarm delivers smooth, near-miss excitement, and Soar the Ride brings horror theming to a whole new level. Then there's the already mentioned Hyperia, the UK's tallest and fastest coaster, a new addition that has certainly helped boost this park's coaster lineup. Dark rides and theming are not this park's speciality, but there are some decent theming moments, such as on the already mentioned Soar the Ride and within the Amity and Swarm Island areas of the park. Even so, coasters are definitely Thor Park's strong point. Beyond what I've already mentioned as the standouts, there's the B&M Inver Nemesis Inferno, the 10 inverted coaster Colossus, and the themed indoor roller coaster Walking Dead the Ride. Water rides are also another strong suit of the park. There's Rumba Rapids, Storm Surge, Depth Charge, and the jaw-dropping soaker that is Tidal Wave. Thor Park is definitely more tailored to big kids, but there are some attractions that are suitable for the little ones, such as the Flying Fish Coaster and a few family flat rides. Speaking of flat rides, Thor Park is by far the best selection in the UK. It's the thrill of these and the great selection of coasters that truly earn the park 2nd place. Certainly not its theming. Now onto my number 1 park in the UK, which I'm sure you've all worked out by now that number 1 is of course Alton Towers. The ride lineup is, for me, the strongest in the UK, with standout coasters like the Smiler, Nemesis Reborn, Oblivion and Wicker Man, all of which offer excellent thrills, but also deliver some pretty nice theming. In fact, although far from perfect, I'd have to say that it's really this park's theming that makes it stand out above the rest. Don't get me wrong, the coasters are great, but it's the presence of cohesive themed lands here that really impresses me. Sure, these areas can't compete with many others in the world, but for the UK, they're kind of all we've got. The only park that can really compete in the UK is Portons Park, thanks to the incredible theming in Tornado Springs. But this is only one area, and the rides aren't anywhere near as impressive as those at my top 3 UK parks. Alton Towers is split into different areas, and while I have been known to whinge about their shared dark theming, there is at least an effort made to differentiate them all. I mean, what's been done with Nemesis Reborn has to be my favourite bit of theming within any UK park. The Roller Coaster 13 and the dark rides Hex and the Curse at Alton Manor are all genuinely impressively themed attractions. Then there's the natural setting of the park. Located in the Staffordshire countryside, complete with landscape gardens and a historic manor that adds a unique charm you don't get at many other theme parks in the world. With CBeebies Land, the world of David Walliams, and the family coasters at Spinball Whizzer and the Runaway Mine Train, Alton Towers has a very well-rounded attraction lineup. It is both a thrill seeker's paradise and a great place for families with small children. Thanks to this, I really believe that it's the UK's only truly complete theme park. So there you have it. There are my top 10 theme parks in the UK. Making this list has certainly exposed many of the flaws within the UK theme park scene. Theming, attractions for guests of all ages, and quality dark rides are the three things that I'd say are most obviously missing. With a universal park on its way, these issues are only going to become more glaringly obvious. If our parks don't step up their game, it's hard to see how they will compete. Will families pick Chessington World of Adventures or Paulton's Park over Universal? Or thrill seekers choose to go to Thor Park or Alton Towers instead? With the way things are right now, I'm not so sure. Let me know, what are your top 10 parks in the UK, and how do you rank them? Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, check out my links in the description and some of my other videos.